Hey there, Contractor Kev here with Overseas Contractor Academy, and today we're going to be talking about the price of not knowing how much an overseas job should pay. Specifically, the cost of not knowing what you should be earning overseas. Stay tuned. Okay, so today we're talking about the cost of not knowing exactly how much someone in your career field should be making overseas. So the first thing is going to be, when you are interviewing, this is going to be your first big hurdle. As we've talked about before, the cost of seeming like you don't know what you're getting into is that you're not going to make it into the maybe, hire this guy stack. You're going to go over into the no, not quite stack. You want to make it into that eligible and likable and we want this guy stack. So one of the ways that they're going to use to sort that is going to be when they interview you. If you become one of the interview pile, they're going to ask you, well, approximately how much money were you looking for? So that's what's going to separate you and make you either one of the ones that they really want or one of the ones they don't want, is how confident you seem in knowing exactly how much money to ask for, because you're informed and you've been around the block and you know exactly what you're getting into, you've done your research, and therefore you're a safer bet. As we talked about in a previous video, the companies that are hiring for people over there, they're spending a lot of money to get you trained and mobilized and sent over there and screened and all that. The worst thing they want to do is hire someone that gets over there and works a very short period and says, oh, this isn't for me, I want to go back home. So one of the ways that they're going to use to screen is, do you know, or do you seem like you know what you're talking about? And one of the ways they're going to use that, one of the criteria is going to be, do you know how much money to ask for? If you don't know how much money to ask for, one of the first hurdles is during the interview process, and they're just going to weed you right out. So first, good reason, know how much to ask for, because it's going to come up in the interview, and you want to seem like you know what you're getting into and you know exactly what you should be earning. And the second cost of not knowing exactly how much to ask for is that you're either going to oversell yourself or undersell yourself. And either way is actually just as bad during the interview process. Because on the one hand, if you ask for way too much money, you're right over in the passed over pile. But at the same time, if you ask for too little money, guess what? They're going to say, oh, this person doesn't value their own skill set. They don't believe in themselves enough. Again, you're on the wrong pile. So you want to know exactly the right range of money to ask for. And if you don't know, then guess what? You're kind of handicapping yourself. And so this is why in our course we put every career field, the common career fields, and exactly what kind of ranges those positions should earn, so that people know exactly how much to ask for during the interview process. Okay, and finally, the most important thing, you don't want to leave money on the table. So you're interviewing, they have in mind some kind of pay range that they want to give that position. Let's say it's 125 to 150,000, that they're going to pay somebody to do this job that they are looking at you to do. And then you come along and say, okay, well, I'll do the job for 110. Well, they just saved 15 grand and you left $15,000 on the table. So this is why when I looked at the pricing of our course and factoring in that we worked on it for about a year and we've spent about $30,000+ making our course, it was because if you have this knowledge, you are going to make thousands more by knowing exactly what to ask for and how to do it and when to do it. So you don't want to leave money on the table. Most of these positions, they're set up by the government in a contract to your employer, and they say, for this position, the pay range is going to be from this to this. And that varies for the field and the experience level. So if you don't know what those ranges are, and you ask for something outside of that range, either over it or way under it, it's just bad news either way. You really kind of got to know those price ranges. So if you're just like shooting from the hip and trying to find jobs online and using job aggregator websites and things like this, and you don't really know how to go about it, you're really hurting yourself. You're doing yourself a disservice, because first off, you're likely to spend months and months and months of time and not get results. But secondly, even if you get an interview and even if you get a job, you're not going to know how much to ask for. You're not going to know what to expect when you go over there. So again, you're just hurting yourself. You really want to get an education, get informed, know what you're getting into, and know how to do it, when to ask for the things that you need to know, and what to say to make yourself look like that candidate that really knows how the whole system works. Okay, so today we covered 3 of the big costs of not knowing exactly how much a job should pay you or how much you should ask for during the interview process for working overseas. Obviously, you don't want to sell yourself short or sell yourself long. You want to be in the right range of money to ask for. You want to also seem like you really know what you're talking about, and you know what you're getting into, and you know about what the pay range should be for someone in your field and at your experience level. That conveys confidence, and it's going to build the employer's confidence that, hey, this guy knows exactly what he's getting into, so he's a good choice. And lastly, you don't want to leave money on the table. There's nothing worse than knowing that you could have been making an extra 20 grand that year, but in the negotiation process, you kind of dropped the ball and you didn't ask for enough. So this is our way of helping you guys make a lot more money when the time comes, is let you know exactly what those ranges are. So thanks for watching. As always, if you like what we're doing, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and if you'll share our videos on your social media, I will personally come to your house and give you a warm hug. Thanks for watching.